Yaga. All right, let's connect on this stream of consciousness. So I think I've been saying the last couple of days, talking about things that appear to be coincidence, and how at this stage I don't believe in coincidences. Most things are tests or lessons or deja vu, or they're usually agendas. So they're usually events or situations that are set up to create some kind of outcome, to have you in some sort of state, either way, positive or negative. So this usually happens in these toxic workplaces. Now, when you applied for this job, or you got this job, a lot of the times the managers, hiring managers, relationship managers, project managers, they actually like you. They like you. And they actually they like the fact that you have this sort of leadership value about yourself, this intelligence about yourself. But a lot of the time with these workplaces, they actually are looking for a scapegoat from the jump. So they're actually looking for that. It's not something that is like they're just hiring you just to get a new engineer, have a new member of the office team or member of staff to just join and to develop that person as an individual. A lot of in these offices, a lot of in these situations, they're actually looking for empathic people. They're looking for people who give off this people-pleasing energy. And what they do is siphon you by having you do jobs that nobody wanted to do. But look, what I'm trying to get across here is these scenarios are not, they make it out like it just happened that way, but it's actually a plan. So if you come to the job and you actually come across as someone who's independent, someone who's strong, sometimes that will be actually off-putting for these workplaces, like I said, because they know what they're looking for. They're looking for this kind of character who's always acquiescing, always giving in, always allowing giving the benefit of the doubt, letting people get away with these tricks. Remember, the world is a stage. Remember, these workplace scenarios, it's literally like being in high school. Yeah, working around these characters whom there are these unwritten social hierarchies where you have, people who, they like bantering, they like joking around. They tend to be like the most popular people in the workplace, who have more say. They're on the site, they're smoking cigarettes, they're taking Greggs, which is in the UK, is a type of fast food establishment. And nobody bats an eyelid. Whereas if you were to behave like them, you'd be you'd get written up, you'd be in trouble. So this is something to keep in mind and get used to, guys. Get used to just being like, changing your mind. It could even be in the middle of a conversation. I had this recently with someone where they were talking about them being bullied. And as they were talking about being bullied, I was giving them advice, to de-escalate, or to, in fact, if it's, there's no way getting out of it, you may have to escalate. And I was giving him information. This is a high school teenager. He was talking about being bullied, and he was small in size, so they tend to, these bigger boys are bullying him. And I said, okay, go for the biggest one. If you really have to have a scuffle, go for the biggest guy. My time. I was like, all right, you're good. I left him there. So trying to put him on the path of doing the right thing, and he wasn't listening to me. I was like, all right, do what you want, follow your own, what you think's the right way, because there's at this stage, where we understand that energy is currency and attention is valuable, and energy is everything. We don't really have the space to be trying to give correct information to people who don't want to accept it. You can show the horse the water, but if they don't want to drink it, that's on them. So, mid-conversation, mid-event, walk away, be like, oh, this is not for me. Middle of a job interview, not for me. You can see that they are not allowing you space, even though you may come across as, the person who's in a vulnerable position. Walk away. Literally be like, oh, this is not for me. This relationship's not going to go anywhere. I can tell that it's not about my growth. This is quite toxic. They try to masquerade as, oh, we're a family. We're, a lot of these workplaces, they may have a toxic core structure where you have manager, relationship manager, supervisor, lead, staff members, and they've all been there for like 10 years, 5 years, 15, 20 years. They've been with the same company for a long time. They've actually moved from another company to a different company together, and they've kept that core. That's usually a sign of a toxic group. It's good to have cross-pollination. It's good to have new people bringing in new ideas, a flexible manager who is willing to learn, willing to allow the new talent to come and flourish. But if you have the same people, the same managers, the same supervisors, and they're always the same, no matter which firm they're at, there's a good chance that you're dealing with a highly dysfunctional, toxic, core work environment, which is, it's not conducive to your growth. It's not conducive to being in a healthy space of growth, of transition, of transfer of information, of knowledge, of know-how. It's a rut of dysfunction, and somewhere you don't need to be. So when you notice the patterns and you see these people, playing their little games, their little psychological warfare on you, just leave. You will see the gaslighted, you will see the triangulation, you will see the kind of high school, secondary school bullying tactics. You will see, yourself being palmed off to do jobs nobody else wants to do, working longer hours, not being paid more, being passed over for promotion, having more qualifications than someone, yet they don't choose you to be in charge on the site or in the office or whatever you're doing. Just leave. That's something that I had to learn in real time, and you're going to have to see these patterns yourself, and you're going to have to act accordingly, just literally in real time. If you see it, in a meeting, the job interview, just leave. On a phone course, I've had calls on Skype or Teams or whatever, where as soon as the interview starts, the guy just looks at my face and just rejects me straight away, just off energy, just off, whatever he sees in my aura. He just rejects me straight away. He just sees my face. You could be there in a suit, could be there in, polo, smart, clean, whatever I'm wearing, and the guy just rejects me straight away. So when that sort of thing happens, just mid interview say, not for me, goodbye, I can't do this. I've done this on where you'd be waiting for a response and they'd be like, oh, we're still interviewing people, we need more time. Just take your application and say nope. If you don't want me and you don't want to take me on, then that's fine. Usually that means they want to see if there's something better on the market, and usually there isn't anything better than you on the market. It's just some sort of power play. So you're sort of desperate and you're wanting them, and they're just using some sort of vampiric drain because you're thinking about them in the ethereal world. So just literally pull back. They're keeping you guessing, signs of confusion. These are all demonic tactics. These are how the workers of the Marine Kingdom behave. Pull yourself out, withdraw your application, withdraw you wanting to the flat share where they're still interviewing other people over you. They want to see if they can find better than you to go on to invest in your development. Nope, just pull yourself out of it. Toxic, yeah. So with that, start remembering who you are, guys. I'm still on my own journey. I'm still remembering slowly gaining more discernment, gaining more power, and with that I'll be able to protect myself and move forward in a positive way.